Hey guys, welcome back to Cool Bike Projects, and welcome to the studio. This week I'm recording a video here because I managed to sprain my ankle pretty good, and I figured it was safer to record a video here than hobble around in the garage. So hope you bear with me as I'm finishing up some other bike projects. This week I thought it would be fun to take you back in time a little bit and tell you a story about the first bike shop I ran myself. This was a mobile bike repair shop that started at a time when I'd only ever seen one like it, and turned into something we called Rusty's Mobile Bike Shop. So the story goes something like this. My wife and I were in college. I'd worked at a bike shop off and on for about 3 years, and I needed to make some extra funds. So I figured I was in a college town, there was only one bike shop there, and people that had cheap bikes needed to have a cheap tune-up. So around 2002, I pulled out my savings, which was all of $500, and I found a website that would sell me bike parts. That little known website at the time became Jensen USA. And it wasn't a dealership, I was just a guy off the street ordering parts online. So I rented a storage unit just large enough for a bike bench and a hanging rack to hold 6 or 7 bikes. And I would take my little high school car, my 1981 Mercury Lynx, and I did free pickup and delivery. That was kind of my deal. So I would drive with my little station wagon, open the hatch, load up a couple bikes, take them out of town 7 miles to a storage unit that I could afford, tune them up for $25 and bring it back. And as you might have guessed, it wasn't the most economical sense as a business because I spent a lot of money in gas transporting bikes back and forth. One day I realized that if I just had my tool kit with me, I could fix a flat or replace a chain on site and save a lot of transportation costs. So over the next couple years of being in college, I did a lot of tune-ups for around $25. I sold a lot of tubes, replaced chains and brake pads. And when it was time to start my career as a school teacher, I bought a newer minivan, a little Dodge Caravan from the 90s, loaded up the back full of parts and tools, and headed out to a military base on the weekends and evenings to make a side income. And as a teacher, this is how we made vacation money, this is how I got parts to work on bikes, and it was a lot of fun for about 10 years. Over the years, I got connected with some really cool programs like Ride Idaho and the Knobby Tire Mountain Bike Festival, and I would go to some of these events, and on a good day, I could make between $300 and $500. But most days, it was the grind of fixing flat tires, putting in a lot of thorn-proof tubes and slime, and that's how I made a living on the side. Over time, as the bike business got bigger, I was able to land a dealership with J&B Importers. I was able to sell me parts for wholesale. Those of you that worked in bike shops know names like Quality, Seattle Bike Supply, BTI, and a host of new ones that have come out since then. And so it takes a little bit to have a dealership, and I had to order enough parts each year to make it worth it to them and to me. Around 2008, I was able to upgrade my minivan again, this time to a used Ford Windstar that was pretty decked out. It had sliding racks to hold tons of tubes and parts. It had floodlights, a power inverter, and even a small hot dog air compressor that could run 90 psi for filling up road tubes and all kinds of bikes. It was also the first time that I decided to put some money into advertising besides simple signs and online things. So at the time I had a website, I wrapped the van with vinyl decals. It was kind of a cool time of growing the business. At the same time, I landed my first real dealership with Fuji, Jamis Bikes, S&M, and a few other bike companies at the time. And so even though I was just a mobile bike repair business, I was allowed to sell bikes at that time through catalogs and in a small shop at the side of my house. Those last 2 years were a lot of fun. I covered a number of mountain bike races, road bike tours, met some really awesome people, and had a chance to work really in the industry for the first time to find out if I actually had any business knowledge. I can safely say I wasn't the best at business, but it was a really cool learning experience, and certainly gave me a chance to really wrench on a lot of bikes. At the end of 2010, it was time to change occupations, and I promised my wife I wouldn't be trying to run a business and have a career at the same time. So I entered into the world of video production full-time, and I've been doing that for the last 11 years. And now, thanks to you guys, I'm coming back to work on bikes again, but this time instead of doing it for money, it's for the love of the sport and being able to chance to incorporate my two passions right now, which is video production and restoring old bikes. If you're still with me, thanks for watching. I know a lot of people probably have questions about starting a business, what actually worked, did we actually make money, and I'll be happy to answer those questions in the comments below. I probably will do a follow-up video talking about the nuts and bolts of running the business, the insurance, how to get a dealership, and those kind of things. But for now, I just wanted to share with you kind of an interesting part of my history, and I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next week.